I guess really my biggest hobby is female impersonation, which consumes a lot of my time. I've been involved in pageants for about 7 years also. A good friend of mine talked me into doing female impersonation one year for Halloween, which is when a lot of guys get started into doing it. It's almost like an addiction. Once you do it, it's hard to get away from it. You're always out looking for new clothes. You're always buying new wigs, fixing your wigs, washing wigs, finding new numbers to do. It's very time consuming. In the Miss America system, you just have to be basically perfect. The judges, they look for uneven hemlines, for beads missing off your gown. They don't want to see a zipper on the back of your gown. They look for your sleeve length to be perfect. They don't want to see a wig line. Your shoes have to perfectly match your gown. It's just everything has to be absolutely perfect. I consider myself a perfectionist. I like for everything to be perfect. And you know, I'm basically a very shy person, and I think that female impersonation and pageants and all that kind of brought out a different side in me, because it made me a lot more outgoing, and it's kind of like I was hiding behind a mask. I think a big part of it was that my mother was she was so fashionable and always looked just incredible, and I think that always amazed me. And I used to love to watch her put on her makeup and fix her hair and and get dressed. And with my father being a hairdresser, I used to go to work with him a lot and would just sit there all day and watch him fix all of these women, all of their hair. I feel very feminine when I'm dressed as Kelly. It's kind of like a complete switch. I think that competition is a really good thing for people, especially like me, somebody who has low self-esteem. Even though I'm behind that mask, it's still really me down underneath. And, if I do well in a contest, or, I go out and perform a number and I do really well, that's, it makes me feel really good about myself. When I was young, my brother he was a huge football star. And now me in competition in pageants, that's sort of, that's my football. That's me being a football star. I'm just a beautiful football star. I look like a bitch when I'm dressed as Kelly. It's just all part of that exotic look. And, I think that guys probably do like that. They're going to have a lot more fun with somebody who's a bitch, probably, than somebody who's not. There's a few people that don't like Kelly, people that are maybe jealous. Kelly is very vain. Kelly is extremely vain. She likes to look at herself. Yeah. It's in my plans to one day have a nose job, not necessarily, to enhance Kelly's look, but just for Spencer, for myself. I know who I am. I know where I'm going. I have wonderful family that I would never trade for anything. I have wonderful friends. The least thing that I like about myself is that I have such a low self-esteem about Spencer. A lot of times I don't think that I am what a lot of other people think that I am, or what they perceive me to be. Kelly would tell Spencer just to let go and let him have it. The most difficult aspect of it is overcoming the fact that people think that you really want to be a woman, that that's the reason why you dress as a woman, is because you want to be a woman. And you get labeled, people call you a drag queen because they think that you're dressing up as a woman, so you want to be a woman. When in actuality, there are drag queens, there are female impersonators, there are transies. I am a female impersonator. I am a female impersonator. I'm a female impersonator in the beginning. The first thing I do is shave my face. I then put on a stocking cap. I apply tape to pull my eyebrows up like a woman. Then I apply base, powder. I contour, powder all over my face. And then I work on my eyes for a little while, work my way down to the cheeks, work on my lips, go back to the eyes, work on my contouring. Then I work on my eyebrows, usually contour the nose quite a bit, then go back applying gloss to the lips. Then I go back, work on the eyes for a little bit more, and of course, always repowdering to give yourself that matte look. Put on one pair of tights, and usually insert my hip pads and butt pads. Put on another pair of tights, pull up another pair of tights, pull up another pair of tights, and then another pair of tights, and probably another pair of tights, and a couple of pair of pantyhose, and then I put on a dance belt. After I have on all of my pantyhose and tights, before I put my dance belt on, I reach in and tuck as tight as I can. After I put on the hair, I usually put on my fingernails, and then the last thing I do is put on whatever outfit I'm wearing. Usually my high heels are anywhere from around 3.5 inches to 4 inches. Actually, it's difficult for a lot of people to learn how to walk in women's shoes, but for some reason it came naturally to me, and to me, high heels are just about as comfortable as men's shoes. High heels make me feel really feminine. I think you'll notice a slight change. Mm-hmm. She'll be very talkative, kind of silly, very exotic, and very sexy. I love Kelly. I love it. I think I look fabulous. Kelly doesn't have a low self-esteem at all. Kelly is very outgoing and will talk to just about anybody and everybody, and we'll come out on stage in a little swimsuit, or we'll do just about anything. Where Spencer's pretty low key. I still think he's a wonderful person. Anyway, I think that if he would overcome that small obstacle, that he would probably be even a more fabulous person. But that's just part of him. My favorite part about the competition is probably winning. I love to compete. Actually, I have a lot more fun competing than I do just doing a regular show. In a pageant, you are giving them perfection. If I'm backstage with some of my other girlfriends, I might go up and say, girl, you are beat back tonight. Or, a lot of times after I get ready, I say, I will be done and be standing back in the mirror looking at myself, and I'll say, I really feel real tonight. And it'll be complete silence after I say that, and usually everybody walks off. A lot of times I will just, it's just, I don't know, it's just like it clicks. You look in the mirror and you think, gosh, I really look good. I really feel real. And that's a fabulous feeling. I think that a lot of people think that, that they are helpless without a man, that, that they always need a man in their life. And that's part of why, I say that a lot of women that I know have no backbone. They're so afraid to stand up for themselves because they think this is a man's world. Kelly gives Spencer a lot of backbone. If a lot of women I knew were like Kelly, they would have no problems. Okay? Kelly is the damn deal. Kelly is fabulous.
Shannon Stone. I tried Shannon Steele, and I thought that kind of sounded like a porn star. So we didn't go with that. A lot of people say that too. A lot of people say Sharon Stone, and I always tell them no, that I'm her sexier little sister. A lot of people don't understand like the pageant systems we have. I mean, there's so many. The Miss Gay America system, though, is for males who completely, physically transform themselves into a woman by illusion only. We are not allowed to have like silicone implants, and we're not allowed to go on hormones, female hormones, and things like that. Some of the other systems do. The Miss Gay US of A, Miss Continental. A lot of the girls are what we call transies. You know, they have silicone implants and thigh implants, and they've gotten their face pumped and all kinds of things. But I think the reason why I like the Miss Gay America system the best is for the fact that it is an illusion, and that we all wash this off, and we are boys. How cheesy did that feel? You know, Mr. Gay Arkansas is for the men, and they wear like tuxedos, and you know they have their talents, and they go on to Mr. America. Now, Miss Gay Arkansas, that's the men that dress as women, and they even have pageants for women, like lesbians. They have like Miss Butch of the Year for the more masculine lesbians, and then they have a system called Lady of the Year, and it's for the more feminine, affectionately as we call them, lipstick lesbians. So there's a group, and they have leather men contest and leather women contest. There's thousands of contests, just like in the real pageant world. There's the same for every walk of life in the gay world. I have an affection for crowns. I collect crowns. In my home, I have probably over 100 different things. I can spot a crown on a sign 3 blocks away. I just have this thing for crowns. And I just need to win one. I do want to be that image that people look up to and that respect, and that there's a certain sisterhood that former Miss Arkansas have, and I want to be part of that group. I have every Miss America, Miss USA, Miss Universe, Teen USA. I have 20 tapes of 3 pageants apiece on these tapes, if not more. And I just study those. I study the way they answer questions, their body language, how you enter and exit on a stage. It's a lot about, body language and about selling yourself and about walking on the stage and owning it. There's a lot of girls that spend $5,000-$6,000 on a gown. So yeah, clothing is very important. I've seen a gown that was a size 28 that he had completely beaded, and it was absolutely fabulous. It was huge. It could sleep 6. It was the biggest gown I've ever seen. Most men have very square faces. And some have round faces. The lucky ones have rounder faces. But we have to do like the contour in here, because women's foreheads cave in naturally, and men are specifically broader. So we have to cave that in with contouring. I used to do a dark brown eyeshadow, and then I graduated over to the middle of the forehead into a light brown eyeshadow. And then we have to contour in our cheek area. We have to really cave that in and pump up those cheeks and make them look like full feminine cheeks. And then I contour right around on my jawline area, just to soften this up, because most women's faces are very oval, and some men have a tendency to have a square jawline. So I just contour right through here a little bit with just brown eyeshadow and just kind of blend it all in and make it soft. And women, their hips curve out, and then they curve into a waist, and then their breasts curve back out, so to make the perfect hourglass figure. So we have to create that. So in using padding, we use styrofoam foam rubber padding, and we'll wear like 7 or 8 pair of pantyhose, and we create hip pads and like butt pads, and we create boobs, the fake breast. I'm lucky with my chest, I can just tape it together with duct tape, and it just creates cleavage. And so it gives the illusion of real breast. And then we put our forms. I use birdseed in pantyhose. And then that way it's you can shape it, and you just, take an old pair of pantyhose and pour birdseed in the toe of it and cut it off, tie it in knots. I do double because, the pantyhose can break. And that way you can mold it and mend it, and then you just put it in. And I think the secret to making your breasts look real is that real women's breasts come out on the sides. And a lot of men just wear little falsies and they're right here, and it doesn't look real. And with my chest, I'm lucky because I can tape and create the cleavage right here, and then I just fill in on the side right here with my pads, so it looks like a complete rounded breast. It's like tits or power. I tape my waist because I'm not the thinnest of people. I gained a little bit of weight. And so I tape my waist, wrap your stomach in cellophane, like in cling wrap, and then wrap it in the duct tape. That way the duct tape won't rip your skin off. My eyes are probably my favorite part, or my mouth, I would say. I'm not sure, but probably my eyes. I'm just very expressive with my eyes. I quirk my eyes a lot and, just can cast a look. My eyebrows can say a million words in one swift move. You can definitely read what I'm thinking. But I would like to have that cute little, turned up little button turtle nose that all the real beauty queens get. I would love to have that.
If my parents saw this video, they would shit. I don't know. Hopefully I would hope that something positive would come out of it, because at least they'd know me. They'd know things about me that they don't know. They would probably die. I mean, I think it's one thing to be a gay man, but to be a gay man that dresses like a woman, I don't know if they could handle that. I wish I could be so honest with my parents. I wish I could tell them everything about me, because in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with who I am. There's nothing wrong with the way that I am. I don't think I live like a weird lifestyle or anything like that. And they should be proud of who I am. I've worked very hard and supported me as a person and as Tori. I think they should be honored to be my parents, honestly. And I know that's being a little harsh, but I just do, because I think they should be proud of me. I've been very successful with everything that I've done, including what you see before you. The biggest mistake that my parents have made to raise me would be not being open, not being liberal, but they're stuck in their community where, I grew up. So I can't blame them for that in a sense, but in a sense I can, because they should have gotten out and expressed themselves and learned more about the world and what was going on. And I think I'm aggravated about that, because I feel like I had to work so hard to find that. And it would have been a lot easier if my parents would have been more open with me and told me about, okay, sex, drugs, alcohol, AIDS, homosexuality, all the topics that parents should talk about with their children. But 99% of the parents in the world are scared to talk about it. And I can't understand that when it's reality. I just don't understand why parents aren't open with their children, when that's the whole point of it, is to, to help them mature and grow to be responsible, mature people. I think Tori can be more sexier, honestly, just because in the clothing that she can wear and in the things that she does, because she's only there to entertain. She's not there to mingle or to live. She doesn't live. She's in a fantasy. You see, you have to reach out to get her. And she's in a fantasy world, and that's what she's provocative, and she's sexy, and she's, and all of that. And you can see, as I'm transforming, I get more flamboyant, if you can tell. I don't know. I notice I get more and just, my facial expressions change, because you get diva. You feel like, I look good. Not that I didn't feel like I look good as a guy, but it's just a different I look good. It's more like you're famous. It just takes a little while to get to know your face and know how you want to look. And, I'm more transy, as I've said to you. I'm more transy. I like to look more real versus more like a drag queen. 99% of my clientele are women. I love, 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 love women.
I think they're beautiful. I think they're graceful. I think some of them are trashy, like where I'm from. But I think they're pretty. I'm just not sexually there. I've had sex with women. The comfort of laying on just some big old man, just I feel complete. It's like when a woman loves a man and they're together and it's like you're one and you feel protected. I feel very protected with a man. And with a woman, I feel like I couldn't protect her the way that she should be. And that's not fair. My first pageant was Miss Newcomer. I had been doing drag for a week. It was horrible. I felt like the queen of the ball, it's like, look at that. And my hair was horrible because I did hair, but I didn't think I could do my wigs. So it was real funny. I thought, well, let's see. And Barbie Grant beat me, and she shouldn't have, but she only beat me by 5 points. She'd been doing drag for a year, and this was like, I'd been doing drag for a week. What was funny when I started doing drag, female impersonation, it was kind of weird because when I would get dressed up, in face and hair and everything, I would walk like a man. But if I wasn't in drag, I walked more feminine. So it was kind of like gender bender. No, I was kind of like, okay, we have to get control over this here. Because I looked real funny. I was, on stage, all pretty and everything, and I was like, hey, what's that, And I don't know why I did that, because I've never done that.
You just didn't know who you were?
Yeah, it's like you lost all sight of your identity. It's like your identity was gone, and it was like, where am I? Because when I looked in the mirror, I just was kind of like, oh my God, this is me. I kind of felt like I'd reached the top of being here, and I think that's another reason why I quit doing drag. I felt like I'd already accomplished everything that I needed to accomplish. Not saying that I won every state title or every pageant, but within myself, I had done what I was supposed to do. And that was enough for me, and that's all that mattered. That's all that mattered. That's as long as I was fulfilled with everything around me, then it was okay. I don't look at her any different than I do myself. I don't think she's any better than I am, because the way I look at it, I did create her. I can't destroy her. I am her. So yes, it is an illusion. But see, my theory of it, like to Stan's and Spencer's, I think is totally different. I think they're, like Spencer finds interest in Kelly, and that's his way of letting go. That's not my way of letting go. That's my way of entertainment. My whole life, my aunt has always said, you're too pretty to be a boy, so I think it all interacts with each other, female impersonation, being gay, being a guy, being feminine, it all evolves together and creates this, and that's who I am. And, makeup does change my appearance and who I am. Not really who I am, but the way that I look. But in my opinion, it all washes off. And it comes back to this, and this is what I am.